Hi guys, here from the Central Bank, National Bank of Moldova, and I call here to introduce the euro for Moldova. The model is of course the Montenegro model or the Kosovo model. It was very much the best way, but also the Baltic countries who have been with the Soviet Union, with Moldova together until 1991 when the evil empire broke up, they have introduced a similar policy of a hard currency peg towards the mark, and then they have immediately joined the eurozone when they were already in the European Union. But the main policy is the hard currency, the hard shilling policy. By the way, also Germany and Austria after the war, we did also a hard currency policy, the so-called hard mark or the hard shilling pegged to the US dollar. In the context of Europe today in 2022, I call for a peg to the euro as a first step, and then obviously to introduce the euro directly, immediately. I hope as well the Romanians will join the eurozone. That is of course very important for the region here. But the policy should be to adopt the euro in the countries which want to join the European Union in the future and where the French are resisting. That is of course very problematic, but the way the French are problematic, not the Moldovans. The Moldovans are in a problematic area and they face these problems of potential aggression and the Russian war against Ukraine. And to stabilize these countries in the currency and economic sector, you have to introduce the euro. It's a very firm fundament, and it's the policy we did very successfully in Montenegro and Kosovo, and it has many advantages. It reduces the interest rates, it takes away all the fear of the investors that they have problems with the loss of value of the lei in that case, or with other currencies. And obviously the investment security is vital, because in a country like Moldova, when the neighboring country is at war and there are rumors of potential escalation in Transnistria and there's provocations over there, so there you have always this risk for the investor that he has invested and then will be devaluation, as it was in Ukraine in 14 and 15, and then you lose a lot of money. And who will invest under such conditions? It's very risky. So having the euro in a small, fragile, highly integrated European peripheral economy as Moldova is, makes a lot of sense. Obviously you have to pay for that, obviously it's not so easy, you have to overcome the French resistance and the Bundesbank resistance. I know all these arguments very well. I'm in this debate for a long time, and it was in my last conversation with Mr. Busek when he told me how he did it and helped together with the Americans the introduction of the euro in Kosovo and Montenegro in 2002 against a lot of resistance. I know we need now again American help. That's why I appeal always to the Americans to help this policy, and we need also some European countries who are really encouraging that. Like Austria was a pro-European country in the 90s and 2000s, now unfortunately no longer. So we need, for example, Slovenia, or Croatia is now joining the Eurozone, or Bulgaria is now joining, or Slovakia would be ideal, or the Baltic states, to assist and lobby for Moldova to have the euro, and by the way also for Ukraine and for Georgia and for Bosnia, Macedonia, for Albania, they all to adopt the euro. And that is exactly what Macron should have said yesterday at his big speech. Not to have a new European institution to compete with the European Union or the Council of Europe. Not a second-tier European political unification process. Politically we must be all equal, but economically they can be some equality because they will not be member of the Eurozone. They will be just having the euro as a currency. But economically, obviously, that's the way to integrate the countries much faster because of the currency stability, because of basically they have no say in their own currency policy anymore. They can make no mistake. They also have to keep fiscal discipline, which we anyhow should do, because we will have to subsidize these countries significantly in the infrastructure sector, in the defense sector, as we do now with Ukraine. Also we have to do the same with Moldova, and therefore they have to also be under fiscal discipline of the European Union, and that's very important for the stability. And then there will be more investments, there will be more development, there will be less outward immigration, there will be better SME growth because of lower interest rates and currency stability. and there will be a faster regulatory alignment with the European Union, and ultimately faster political alignment, because the countries have already the euro. It's much more easier, and you can integrate them better in the internal market, and you can also have the adjustment of the price system and of the whole wage and the labor and the price transparency in the euro system. That's all huge advantages, economically spoken. So that's why I'm so much in favor of having the euro. And the Romanian reluctancy or the German reluctancy to integrate the Romanians did not help. But now I hope in this crisis also Poland will understand that the euro makes sense for them, because that is really impressing Putin. When the eurozone area moves further to the east, this is a huge sign of unity. And then obviously when Romania, which is such a big economy with 17.5 million people, then that is of course very significant. And Moldova as well. Ukraine obviously has a big economy, a lot of people. That makes a lot of sense. And then we are suddenly really very significantly in the euro area here in Eastern Europe. And that's of course major progress for stability. And that's why we have to do that. So, Mr. Macron, that's basically the speech you should have given yesterday. I came to make again my second call for the euro here in Chisinau, and this should be done. And please introduce the euro in Moldova. Thanks a lot. Bye.